Today's video brings us to New Glasgow Pioneer Cemetery. This is a rather unique one because it's got this massive retaining wall along the front. Hey y'all, what's going on? Random Andrew here, coming to you with another roadside cemetery video. These are a series of videos I'm working on here in southwestern Ontario, my province of origin. And I thought, a lot of times people drive past these cemeteries and nobody ever gets to stop and look, and they're like, oh, that's a quaint little cemetery. So another video in that series. I've seen this cemetery thousands of times driving past it growing up. It's rather chilly out. Okay, we'll try this again, but with my coat this time. I've never actually had the opportunity to come up and look through here. It's not massive, but it's historic, and that was kind of weird. New Glasgow Pioneer Cemetery. This is the first cemetery in the district where rest many pioneers of Aldeboro and adjoining townships who migrated from Scottish Highlands in 1817, and those who followed later from other parts. It is recorded that in 1818, Dugald MacLarty and James Ruthven, who were drowned as they were attempted to land at what is now Port Glasgow. I've actually been there, where the first two white people buried here may be worthy of sacrifice, faith, and vision of our pioneers, forefathers, whose memory today we delight to honor and desire to perpetuate. 1817, and the second date is 1938, and it's now 2020, almost 2021. So I guess we'll start with this side. We're very cautious of our surroundings, as it says, very, very old headstones. Some of which you can't really see too much of a date. 1887, I think, 1897. Very hard to tell. Very nice inscription along the bottom here too. John Brodie, 1851. Catherine, I can't tell, 1857. Wow, you can tell just by looking at these that these are quite aged. Some further into the dirt than others. 1817. Margaret McTavish, and you can't really see the date. But wow, I'm glad I stopped to have a look up here. And the way that they're laid out, it's weird because the road's this way, but they're all facing this way. So I guess we'll just cover these ones on the side first. Gillies, 1857. $1873 on the one on the left. McGugan. I've actually heard this last name before. Hugh McGugan, Mary Mayflower, Archibald McGugan, and Greta Johnston. It's a family plot right here. It's odd that these ones aren't white like the other ones. These ones are a lot darker tone. 1846. Native of Argyllshire, Scotland. Wow. Now as we walk around and we have a look at a lot of these, I figured I couldn't pass up this opportunity. Like, it's getting later in the evening, it's going to be getting dark very soon, so we can't really dilly-dally too much. Otherwise we won't have light to film with. Oh, this one's fairly recent, 2019. But yeah, it's going to be getting dark soon, so I figured let's stop and get this video anyways, because we are heading into another stage of lockdown during the COVID era. Currently a few days before Christmas, so we're not in lockdown yet. 1862, I think that says. So yes, we're not currently in lockdown as of just yet. Let's go along this back side here. I see a lot of older. What's this one say? Yeah, it's tough, you know, because Christmas Day, as of midnight, we're going back into lockdown, and that makes it really hard for people to have their Christmases and things that everybody planned for. And, you know, even our own family, my own family Christmas, you know, was supposed to be a very special one this year for reasons I'm not really willing to share on YouTube just yet. But, you know, in the future, you guys will get to find all that out. And so we're having to postpone. Well, we may have to postpone. We may be able to actually get away with doing it Christmas Day and just finishing up everything Christmas Day. But that means no seeing anybody for like a month. And that's really going to suck. Everybody's going to go down into lockdown. This one looks actually fairly old here. Ooh, that was my knees if you heard that. 1887. 1885 above that. Great Scott. 1884 on this pillar here. Doesn't look that old. A lot of Archibalds and McGugans. I know all you fishermen out there, all you guys that joined the fishing channel are watching this anyways, are like, Googans, what? Where? There's no Googans, it's McGugans, family name. And Campbells, there's a few Campbells. Wow, look at the size of this one. This is pretty cool. Have a look at this at the top. Nice big willow tree with this underneath it here. Duncan Brown, you've got quite the nice artwork on there. And that was 1853 and 1821. In case you see the camera shiver once in a while, yes, it is cold out here. Just because there's no snow on the ground doesn't mean it can't be cold. But back to the lockdown thing. I know I keep jumping back and forth on that and looking at this. But back to the lockdown thing. One thing you got to remember is, what is it, 1914? This guy's stuck in the trenches. Families back home, you know, they couldn't be with their families. Their families couldn't have them for their Christmases. It's not the first time that we've had to forego a Christmas in order to combat something like, you know, in this case, a virus. But, you know, gotta do what we gotta do. Even if we're not happy with the way things are being done, we don't think they're gonna be effective, we really don't have a choice but to comply. And, you know, I'm not one for complying with just everything, but I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? So, and if you're watching this post-corona, let us know if we survived. Yeah, I think we're gonna come up this middle row here. There's actually there's a McIntyre, 1871. And this one's 1864. Two willow trees. Some kind of cenotaph in the middle on that. Yeah, this is actually, it's a pioneer cemetery, so you can't be too surprised that we're seeing the dates and the age on a lot of these tombstones that we are. You really can't see the artwork that was on the top of this one anymore, but you can kind of tell there had to have been something there. And this will actually, when I go to edit it, it's going to mostly be an unedited vlog, or an unedited video. Because there's not really much need to edit this kind of content. So part of the inspiration, if you didn't catch the last at the Love Cemetery, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'll try and tag it at the end of this video so you can just click on it if you need. But do you see a certain style of headstones? Ooh, look at this. You see a certain style of headstone when you go to different regions. I've seen cemetery tours of some of the more famous graves over in the what would it be, over in England? Highgate over in England is like a cemetery town. Oh look, see, this one once had the sectioning off. So it was all, you know, one family plot area, I think. But anyways, yeah, different regions, you see different styles of cemetery, different styles of headstones, engravings on the headstones. And I thought, you know, we have a lot of these roadside cemeteries along Highway 3, Highway 2, Kirkpatrick. It's the first last Kirkpatrick name I've seen in here. So yes, I thought maybe there might be other people who have this same interest as myself and may want to see what some of these look like in our settlement areas. Like a lot of these, like I said, Pioneer Cemetery. So these are some of the earliest settlers in this area. Some earlier than others. And there's a home right across the street. I don't know if you've seen in the background. They're probably watching me like, what is this guy doing? Edward Ramsey, 1892. And this is why also cemeteries are put here. Why we leave headstones so that, oh, there's another Ramsey. So that people, later generations, like me or you, if you're watching this and have an interest in this kind of stuff, this is why we leave them, so that the future generations can see and remember those who are here. See a lot of this whiter colored, lighter material in the headstones, but those few darker colored ones, they really stand out. And I hope this is showing up alright. That's 1822, guys. 1822. 1826. And maybe as a challenge to my viewers, you guys can, as you're watching, make a note. What is the oldest date we've seen on these today? That's 1818 right there. And some you really just can't even see the date, but thankfully somebody's come along and taken, you can see it's broken. It was a much taller piece, and they've re-cemented it there so it's remained standing. But we've lost a lot of information off that one. There's no date. 1837, 1850. I got some that are almost right under the bush over here. I don't imagine this battery's gonna last forever, and it's starting to get dark, so wow, that's cool. Yeah, so these are the darker colors I was talking about, and look at this. Emigrated from, I think we read that name on the other one like this, something Shire, Scotland, 1805. 1805. It's a shame that they wear down like that. You know, these are stone. You'd think they'd be good for so long, more than just a couple hundred years. I wonder if this is 1880, 1891, 1896, 1907. If this could be a replacement for these. Perhaps, because there's so many dates on them. Alright, well, we're almost done this tour of the New Glasgow Pioneer Cemetery. Catherine and Donald McKillop. Natives who departed Scotland, natives of Scotland, probably from the same place the rest of them came from. Yep, busy highway tonight. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this cold tour of the New Glasgow Pioneer Cemetery. There's a lot of these small pioneer settlement style cemeteries along Highway 3, along Highway 2, various regions, and I like to stop and film these little unique ones. And it's going to be a regular ongoing series. And had to stop and get this one today because we're not going to have that opportunity for the next 28 days during this next phase of COVID lockdown. So do me a solid, if you're not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I've seen a lot of people that are watching aren't subscribed yet. So please get subscribed. And though we did just breach 1,000 subscribers, and we can now begin to possibly start some monetization for the channel, help pay for future adventures, but we need those subscribers, we need those likes, and we need the views so the channel can grow. But we are growing, and more about the 1,000 subscriber thing in an upcoming video. Trust me, I'm going to get to that. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.